Hello there, it's Jessie here. Welcome to the channel. If you're coming back, a big warm hug. I love you. And if you're completely new, hello, welcome. Bada bing, bada boom. Let me explain that. Okay, so I always like to set an intention before I make a video. And usually it's just something like I set the intention to speak from my heart. Because I think more truth comes from there than my complicated, complex mind. And bada bing, bada boom was my short version, because before I would set intentions like I would throw in a bunch of intentions, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It just took me a long time. So I decided to incorporate all of my intentions into one short phrase just to make it a bit quicker. And my phrase was bada bing, bada boom. And I'm still filling those words with all these different intentions. So it's a shortcut. Just thought I'd share that with you. So today I'm going to talk about the intelligence and the power of the elements as I currently understand it. So I've been connecting a lot this year with water. I live next to a river, very close, so I go to the river every day if I can, and I just sit there and I talk to it. And I want to say I talk to her, but I don't know if, I think we hear a lot that water is feminine, and perhaps it is, but I watched this brilliant interview the other day on somebody who really, really works with water and researches water and freezes it and finds images and messages in the water. And it was so inspiring because she has cultivated such a deep, beautiful relationship with water. And it was very inspiring. So I can't remember where I was going with that, but I think I'm going to link the interview down below. If that calls to you, I really highly recommend it. It was full of gold. So I've been going to the river and just sort of learning myself how I can communicate with it. And it's not really in the thought realm. It's much more in the feeling realm. That was it. In this podcast, she says it's the house of God. Because water is in everything, pretty much. It's in and around everything. So if consciousness is in water, then it sort of has access to all areas. And, maybe you're thinking, oh, what about the desert? Well, there's still water in the desert, and there's always water in the air. And there's clouds in the sky, so there's always water around. And I really like that. So I go to the water, and what I'm learning is it's a very symbiotic relationship. So however I'm feeling when I sit next to the water is often reflected in the water state. So I went down the other morning to the river. It's my favorite time to go in the sunrise because it's so calm. And I think maybe because most people are sleeping, so we're not, because it's not just me, it's everyone. Everyone's like internal waters are reflected in the external, and vice versa probably. Like, this is my current understanding. So in the morning when everyone's still sleeping, it's very, very calm, and I like it. But I was sat there and it was so calm and so smooth, and I just tried to take in the water. And it's beautiful because now when I close my eyes, I can see water. And I really like that because I can close my eyes and I can kind of gauge how my inner waters are doing based on what I see. So I was super, super calm, super blissful, like loving life, feeling very connected. And then I looked down and I thought, what's that? And it was some broken glass. And then I looked around me and I was surrounded by broken glass. And I even looked under me and I was sat in broken glass. And there wasn't broken glass anywhere else except exactly where I was sat. And this disturbed me. My obviously at some point I internalized that these things, I took it basically as my fault. And that made me, I think this is just sort of something I internalized as a child, like things are my fault, when they're not always. And so it triggered that in me, and I started like sort of spiraling downwards. And as I did this, the water started getting really like turbulent and tumultuous. And it's because my inner waters, like I started freaking out basically, and the water was like reflecting that. And it was really, really beautiful for me to see, because I could then calm my inner water. It actually showed me like, wait a minute, if I have this thought, this belief, it starts manifesting internally and then externally as well. And it's a bit more chaotic and not quite as peaceful. And I really love peace. So I just thought, well, I need to calm my inner waters then. And I used the breath to do that. And it went all smooth again. Then, the other night, I bought a candle. And I thought, I'm going to try sort of cultivating a relationship with fire too. And oh my goodness, like very different. Very different. It's a different element, right? Different qualities. And I'm just looking at the candle over there. Like what it felt like to me is like I had to, fire wasn't gonna sort of listen to me or talk to me unless I really, really like truly deeply respected it as an element and what it's capable of. And perhaps I need to do the same with water too, but it just feels, if water feels much more familiar to me in a sense. And fire was like, okay, so I put the flame on, and you can see in if it's smooth or if it flickers or whatever, sort of maybe my inner fire and external, I don't know, just brainstorming here. And I asked the fire to light the incense. Actually, it wasn't incense, it was Palo Santo wood. So it was like a chunk of wood. And I put it next to the flame, not in the flame, just next to the flame. And I asked the fire to light the wood, the Palo Santo wood. And it wouldn't. And it was sort of like even going the other way. And I was like, okay, just sort of experimenting, right? Not feeling like I'm doing anything wrong, just knowing that I'm learning. And as it humbled me a bit, because, you know, there was, I guess, a bit of this, like this fire for me, and it wouldn't. And so in the humbling, I sort of bowed down a bit, and I was like, okay, I need more respect here. I need to genuinely respect this element. And as I sunk into that, like I was just holding it next to it, honestly, and then it just went, the flame just went, like it kissed the wood briefly, and then whoosh, it went up in a flame. And it was so cool, man. It was so cool. So still something I'm learning and cultivating, but very, very, very beautiful. And I think we can do this with all of the elements. Like wind, I feel like wind my whole life. I've been connected to wind and air. And I'll give you another example. Sometimes, like if the wind like goes to slam a door shut and I catch it before it does, I could sort of somehow like pull in, and then it wouldn't slam the door, it would close it very quietly. And then what else do we have? We've got earth. Now, Mother Earth, have been years cultivating my personal relationship with Mother Earth. So that's a work in progress. And then in Ayurveda, which I love, one of the fifth element is space or ether. And they consider it an element because it's where all the other elements inhabit. It's where they live, where they manifest. And I like that. I like that idea. So I wonder, like, actually, I haven't really thought about my relationship with ether. I'm aware of it for sure, and I guess I do work with it in my way. But maybe not so relationally, if that's a word. Anyway, I just wanted to hop on and share that. Maybe that's what you wanted or needed to hear right now. I don't know. I actually was sharing it more for me. I've got to go back. I'm going back to me for these videos, and what the essence of me wants to share. So that's all, folks. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below if you have relationships with the elements and how you cultivated them, or if you just think it's a good idea. I don't know. I would love to hear from you. And subscribe if you like the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, folks. Bye. Have a beautiful day.